And this goes into another thing that I want to talk about with branding. Um, if you think that you're competing on price, and if you are competing on price, you're doing it wrong. And really, if you can compete on brand, which can mean a variety of different things, but for another reason other than price, your unique value proposition, then you're going to be able to raise prices, and it won't matter because people aren't using you for your price. They're using you for the quality of your product, for your reputation, for the service you provide, for the efficiencies, for the communication, for the ease of working with you. That's your brand. And your brand is your reputation. It's not something that you determine necessarily. You can be intentional about your brand, but it's ultimately what the customer says you are. That's your brand.
If you've been out there any length of time, you have a brand. You either created it or it happened to you.
Exactly. And I think that's where people get branding wrong, right? And then this is something that we're dealing with. I know we're a marketing agency, but it's helpful for companies to know that they think of branding as a logo and some colors, and really your brand has a lot more to do with who you are than what you look like, right? It has to do with what your unique value proposition is. What's unique about you in the marketplace? Why are people choosing you over the competitors? Has a lot more to do with what your customers are saying about you and what makes your company just a little bit different. It has to do with your culture, with your operation strategy. And when you are intentional about those things and you try to put those things into a defined document, if you will, a branding document, then you can be intentional about what your logo looks like, what your website looks like, what words you use on social media and on your website, in your conversations with customers. I've had conversations this week with companies that are, trying to get a brand done, and one of them went to a random website that they could outsource the logo to, and they got it done for, I think, $50. Then the other one,
kind of high on Fiverr, isn't it?
it is a little high. Now, whenever you find, they maybe create it for you for $5, but if you want to be able to use it, you need to pay them a licensing fee or whatever it is. So $50. Then another one who just used a print shop. Hey, we need a logo we're thinking about getting a new logo. Can you design us one? Sure. And it's kind of like saying, hey, I need to get a new machine in my shop. You think you can get
got any machines?
You got any machines I can use?
Got a skid steer, you need a CNC mill.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to use someone that is meant for printing to do your branding strategy for you or create a logo for you. You should put a lot more time and thought into those things, just for a range for you. Just like you don't want to get here's a good example, just like you don't want to get your partnership agreement off of the internet for $5.
Right, LegalZoom.
You might need to go see that attorney and pay the $5,000, maybe $10,000 to make sure it's covering all the bases, so that whenever there is an issue, it's able to be handled in the correct way, not a multi six-figure litigation that you have to go into. And that same thing happens with branding. If you're going to be intentional about it, if you're going to do it the right way, you're going to be able to use that brand to then attract the right customers that don't worry about price, attract the right employees that want to work for you and aren't just demanding certain wages. If you're going to be able to do that, you are going to have to spend some money on it. Could be $5,000, could be $20,000. Depends on how you're structured and how big you are and what value that brand can do for you. But just something to think about is, make sure that you're investing in good branding. And the other thing I want to say on this is it's not just a single event. For some companies, working with a cabinet shop, for them, their cabinets are a visual thing. People buy their cabinets for the functionality, but they also buy them because it makes their kitchen look the way it looks. And it's such a visual thing that they need. So when they build their website and people come to their website, they want to see examples. They want to see visuals. And if I'm the cabinet shop, I'm investing in really high quality photography, professional photography, and not just once. When people come to my website, people are buying cabinets. It may be a multi-year decision where they're researching and they're thinking about it. You don't want to just have 3 jobs that you've got really good pictures of. every time there's that really good job that is, out of this world, even if it's out of my league, like I did this job, but I only get these $100,000 kitchen remodels once or twice a year. Majority of my jobs are in the $15,000 to $20,000 range. You want to show the $100,000 jobs on your website, because the people that are paying for the $15,000 or $20,000 job, they envision their kitchen as a $100,000 job.
I've got a guy this week, and we're talking about segmenting his market. And you know how they put dollar signs on, like Yelp, like this restaurant?
Yeah, this restaurant's
$1 or
$1.
$5 sign.
Yeah, yeah.
He's putting $5 signs on his website.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's just doing it himself.
It's high end. It's high end. And that's what you want to be able to display with your words, but also with the visuals. And that's why, if you're that contractor that especially if you're selling directly to homeowners and you're selling a bigger project, every single job that you do that is high end, that is the ideal project for you, that you may only get a few of right now, go get photos of it. High quality photos. Don't pay your wife's friend to go take the photos. Go find a company that can get all the different angles, all the different aspects.
So I can't use my new iPhone 13 that I spent $2,000 for because it says it has a good camera?
You can use that for social media. That's fine.
I
If
don't
you're just
do
posting,
social
hey, we're
media.
working on this job today. Yeah, go use that phone. But no, go pay someone to do it the right way and use those photos on your website. That's just as much a part of your branding as a logo, in my opinion.
We know what's kind of fun about today is these subjects of partnerships and the consequences of not having one, hiring people, price changes and branding are conversations that you and I have had with real clients this week.
Yeah, it's real challenges.
More than once.
Yep.
And so hopefully this kind of discussion about these topics give you specific information, but also the global information that you're not alone.
Yeah.
A lot of people come in to me early on and they really do feel isolated, like they're screwing up and everybody else is doing real well. And my response to that always is, the only reason you think that is because you haven't talked to them.